You're watching a Highwire Media podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. As always, I'm your host, Larry Leese. In today's episode, we dive into episode 10 of The Flash, Season 1. Before we do that, give me your thoughts in the comment section below. What you thought of this episode, what you didn't like, let me know. So, with the mid-season finale past us, we are on to The Flash, Revenge of the Rogues review. It's a prison break reunion on The Flash as Captain Cold and Heatwave come to town. So this is our review of The Flash, Revenge of the Rogues. Revenge of the Rogues is a near historic episode of The Flash. Although not the best episode of this series by a long shot, the first live action appearance of Heatwave, played by Prison Break's Dominic Purcell, the show's first supervillain team-up with the welcome return of Wentworth Miller's Captain Cold. And another overall reminder that this is a TV show created by people who really understand the history of this character and his surrounding world. The opening with Barry sparring with one of Cisco's drones was tremendous, and probably the single best visual in the entire episode. One of the better special effects overall in the show's run. Which is impressive. It's just something a little different. We know that we've got these speed effects down to a science. The vast majority of the metahumans have looked good on screen. But this was the first totally CGI thing they've attempted. It bodes well for some more ambitious villains down the road. I mean, if they wanted to, for example, do an episode about a talking ape with mind control powers. Since his encounter with the Reverse Flash, Barry has been obsessed with the idea of getting faster. Harrison Wells is obsessed with this too, and he's keeping Barry from doing some of the other stuff he should be doing. At one point, Joe calls out Harrison because he heard Barry, parroting something that Dr. Wells said. I know we should be past this by now, but remember when we were all kicking around the idea that Wells seems to sometimes have an ability to give people a little mental push? Is that still on the table? And if so, how does this line up with his bright yellow fashion sense? Today's episode is brought to you by Paramount Plus, the streaming service with something for everyone. When it comes to streaming, there's a lot out there, but few platforms deliver like Paramount Plus. Whether you're into gripping dramas, laugh-out-loud comedies, true crime documentaries, or blockbuster films, Paramount Plus has you covered. You can stream everything from hit series like Criminal Minds, NCIS, and Tulsa King, to massive movie franchises like Mission Impossible, Transformers, and Top Gun. Plus, there's a constantly growing library of Paramount Plus originals that keep you coming back for more, including 1923, Special Ops Lioness. And it's not just shows and movies, you also get live sports, including the NFL on CBS, college football, the UEFA Champions League matches, and you can even stream your local CBS station live for breaking news and special events. Here's the best part. Right now, you can try Paramount Plus free for 1 week. Yep, a full week of unlimited streaming completely free. Just go to ParamountPlus.com or click the link in the description to start your free 1 week trial today. So if you're looking for your next binge, or you just want a platform that gives you everything, from heart-pounding action to award-winning series, make it Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, where entertainment lives. And now, let's get back to our episode. But even Barry's tendency towards obsession, particularly with his speed, is a little hint of what's to come for this character, in some alternate futures for the Flash in the comics. Notably, Kingdom Come, at some point, Flash basically just does become an everywhere at once guy, and Central City is a place where nothing can go wrong. It will take years before they could even think about exploring this properly, but I can't imagine this wasn't placed here as a nod to fans. Speaking of fan service, a fair amount of time was spent setting up Firestorm. That Firestorm acronym was truly dreadful, and it's only one of the few times I feel like a show that already has these people running around in costumes shouldn't try so damn hard to justify the occasional bout of codename silliness. It was great to meet Jason Rusch this week, but I don't know. I feel like that was 2 scenes that really should have been spent with new major villain, Mick Rory, or Heatwave. While Flash handles its romantic elements considerably better than Arrow has on the whole, There was a little too much sentimentality this week. It wasn't bad or irritating, and certainly Iris is far less of a chore to spend screen time with than Laurel was at her very worst during Arrow's first 2 seasons. Things kind of ground to a halt a few times this week. Again, this is a big historic event episode, detailing the formation of the best supervillain team around. But there just wasn't enough meat on the new bad guy's bones. Purcell played Mick Rory pretty broadly. He certainly couldn't have handled being introduced on his own, but I never got much of an impression of why these two like or dislike each other, or why we should care. Iris's big move in and Barry's puzzling moving back in things could have waited for another week to give the rogues more elbow room. That being said, there were some classic Joe reactions, particularly his "I'm gonna kill you" face when he thought Barry told Iris he was the Flash. Also, when Harrison told Cisco to stop doing that with the code names, I suddenly found myself rooting for the villain. Even the final battle, while flashy enough, just felt, I don't know, low stakes. It looked great and the flavor was right, but it also kind of felt like a video game boss fight. Barry has to get the two bosses to cross the streams, but until he gets his timing just right, yeah, now that I think about it, maybe making Heatwave the first villain to team up with Captain Cold in the formation of the Rogues wasn't the best idea. Look, it was cool, I'm not disputing that, but it lacked the drama and danger we saw in Going Rogue, which is, for my money, still the best episode of the series and possibly the greatest piece of superhero television I've ever seen. All in all, Revenge of the Rogues is a solid episode, but it never quite reaches the height of Cold's introduction in Going Rogue, or the drama of the man in the yellow suit. There's too much going on, the tone shifted too heavily from scene to scene, and we never really got much of a sense of Heatwave. It's a good setup for future Rogues adventures, but nothing more. The Flash nearly always does more right than wrong, but sometimes, like Barry, it tries to do too much, and this was one of those times. Let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments section below. As always, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. As always, your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and eventually take this show on the road. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.